All right. Uh, with the Lonestar national team head coach Thomas Kojo, uh, he hasn't. We have seen it. We have seen the result of the national team since he took over as an interim coach. Tell us the experience. Since you have been appointed as the interim coach of the national team, how's it been?
Well, firstly, before going into my experience and challenges that we went through, I want to firstly express on behalf of my technical staff and myself, I want to express our thanks and appreciation to the Liberia Football Association headed by Mustafa Raji as the president, also to the Ministry of Sports, to the Minister Councillor J. Bangali Ko, and also to Deputy Minister for Sports, Andy Kwame, and Assistant Minister for Sports, Honorable Murphy Gray, and to the Liberian people. I just want to express our thanks and appreciation for giving us the opportunity to be in charge of the Liberia national team. Even though we did not qualify for the 2026 World Cup, but I think our experience coming in the later part of the qualifiers, there were a lot of challenges that we went through. But at the end of the qualifiers, I think we had a good run. And I believe that with all the challenges that we went through, with our reports and recommendations moving forward, I believe that the national team have a bright future, that will be able to compete, and with all necessary things that we need to put together in terms of organization, well organized, more prepared. I think there's a future that Liberia can qualify soon for the next African Nations Cup.
All right. The last time we had an interview with the president of the Football Association, Mustafa Raji, he stressed on the difficulty, like you said, you talk about the challenges in getting funds from, the government. Sometimes you go to the game and there's no per diem. You want to tell us how has it been for you as a head coach, because you are the leader of the team. How can that make you feel with the players as well?
Yeah, so in all fairness, so we talk about experience and challenges that we went through. So based on that, I, as the head of the technical department in terms of coaching, yes, we already sent in our recommendations, to the Football Association, to the technical committee, to make sure that all the difficulties that we went through during the qualifiers, that we should improve on these challenges, because in order to get the player to be able to perform in the right direction in terms of winning games, the organization part of the association should be in place. Yes, and I believe that a lot of consultation is ongoing on now between the Football Association and the Ministry of Youth and Sports, to make sure that we implement all the things that we did not do well. And even me as the coach, we have our own reports. Technically, yes, there was some error that we made and which we accepted, because if you made error in the past, and if you don't go back to your analysis to see where you went wrong, and then go back to the drawing board, then you cannot go forward. So I believe that, with time, in terms of the organizational part of the Football Association and Ministry of Youth and Sports, I believe, yes, that things is going to improve.
It wasn't, I mean, like you said, before you took over, there was a lot of challenges. You played the World Cup qualifiers, a lot of anticipation from the fans. You yourself, you knew the kind of challenges the team had. Unfortunately, couldn't go for the World Cup, but then you had a crucial match, which was against Malawi. You was in a 2-0 lead. Unfortunately, the goal was equalized. You want to tell us? Still, I know you still. Everybody will feel disappointed, especially when you're in the lead and then the goal is being equalized. Tell us how that feeling was for you and for the fans and we. I mean, I know it wasn't easy for you at that day.
Yeah, in all fairness, every football game, the head coach take full responsibility of results. When you win, the praises, go to the coaches, the player. But whenever it don't go well in terms of winning, and then everybody want to blame the coach. But Yusuf, is unfortunate that we went through difficult times, even getting to Malawi. We had to travel in 3 groups. The first group went to Nairobi, Kenya, waited for the second group. And I was in the second group. We had to go all the way from Tunisia to Dubai. And then the third group went to Turkey. So we all arrived Sunday around 11 a.m. in the morning in Malawi. So that means we had only one training section. So after our game with Tunisia, we did a recovery training with the second group, which in all fairness, it was unprofessional. But at the end of the day, I want to give credit to the players, they fought. And yes, people, critics came out to say, okay, the coach is very responsible. After we made substitution, and basically the substitution was to take fresh legs into the game to help. Because we analyzed and we saw that a few of our players, like William Gibson, Ray Augustine, Sheikh Cisse, and then Edward Lello.
Many thought you were in the lead, you could have just defense the goal.
Yeah, so we changed tactics. So maybe people didn't actually watch the game. We started in our normal 4-2-4 formation. And then we changed. So we were playing with 2 strikers. So we brought William Gibson down. And then we brought in Noah Kennan, who is the defensive midfield player, to join Oscar Dolly and Solomon Toure in midfield. And then we put Jube Conan on the left side, and then we brought Devante on the right side, playing with 5 midfield and 1 striker. So tactically, we did change our approach to make sure that we defended the lead. But unfortunately, Yusuf, I don't want to make excuses and come to blame the players. The players gave their best, but I believe, we didn't have enough energy, to end the game that we should have ended. So, but yeah, I take full responsibility of that as a coach, because at the end of the day, it falls on me. But I think if we were fresh enough, based on our traveling, to make sure that we get in Malawi on time, to have maybe two training sections, and recover well, I think it would have been different.
Despite the result from the qualifiers, you saw the caliber of players you brought, the new players, young players, the players that you're trying to blend with the team, the international players with the local players, and one of the players that you managed to trust, which is Aiba Kojo. He has been giving the results so far, 3 goals for you since you took over as an interim coach. Tell us, how is it like blending those players? I mean, despite the result from the qualifier, we had few praises from some Liberians about the way the team play and with the support from the government and the football association and everyone. They believe that this team can go far.
Yeah, so we've been trying to monitor all our players that are playing in the different parts of the world, especially in Europe. And fortunately, we have few players that have played under other coaches that was in charge before. So Yusuf, the problem here is we have been chopping and changing players for a very long time. So if you follow, every time I take over the team, I always try to keep a group. And then because tactically, you got to have a group that will be able to play and blend together and understand the pattern and the way we want to play. So we try to keep the same groups, and luckily for us, I think we are on track with the group we have. Yes, we're going to look out there, to see who can fit in. But if I'm given, the full authority to carry on with this team, I will just make sure that with my staff, we're going to keep, the same group of guys. And here and there, where we think we need to strengthen, certain positions. But I think we got a future, looking at our last 4 games. People, at least I've gotten a lot of credit from Liberians, or which, gave me a lot of encouragement too, to make sure that I can work harder. And locally, we need to invest in the local players to make sure that we can get them up to speed, that we'll be able to compete in international football. So we are blessed with a new generation of players that getting to fight for the country, because in previous times you have other players that were just coming to just want to play. On record, Yusuf have been around the national team for a very long time, as players, as a player working with different coaches, assistant coach, deputy coach, and this generation of players that we have is unbelievable. I mean, the guys are, so committed and very disciplined. I have now seen a group of Liberians in many years, because previously we had a lot of trouble with most of the players that were so good, but every time they came to play for the national team, it was just trouble. But fortunately for us, we are blessed with a group that knowing now they have to, change the narrative, to make sure that, in a short period of time, they can take Liberia to the First Nation Cup after so many years.
With the way things look, you are not yet official coach of the team. When the task is being given to you, do you think with the team you have now, do you think you can maybe qualify the team to the next African Cup of Nations?
Yeah. Firstly, we go above everything. We spoke about the organizational part of the national team. I think if our organization get better in terms of our players traveling arrangement, coming before a game, and working locally on the ground and with the group we have, I think sooner Liberia will get there.
Very difficult task. One of the things that can really maybe give the players, or maybe people can be kind of amazed when they hear, is that the players giving their all, sometimes even when there's no game bonuses given to them before the match. As a coach, what do you do to ace the situation?
So we have always been there as professional coaches, and like I just said, we are just fortunate with a new generation of players, because on 2 or 3 occasions now where the president of the Football Association came at the camp to explain to the players about the financial situation. And unbelievable, after the president, leave the scene, normally groups that we work with before, there will be a meeting where next thing you're going to hear them start to talk about, if they don't have the money, they are not going to play. But, I too coming from a very disciplined background, and the players have a lot of respect for me. And when I, speak to them about the issue, that yes, you guys deserve the money, even ourselves. But we know the challenges that is going on with government and the Football Association. So yes, and the guys, they are always there to make sure that they keep their head up, and they never disappointed me, and my staff, in terms of, causing trouble, in terms of the money. So we want to give, special credit to the players, that played recently with the national team. I mean, the group, I can put my neck on the line for them. This is the best group that I've ever worked with.
All right, international window is getting closer. Where are we?
Well, on record, the Football Association have written the Ministry of Youth and Sports. There are few invitations, that have come the way of the Liberia Football Association. So officially, I think the country that we will be playing against, I think will be announced very soon. So the ministry and the Football Association are working on plans to make sure that we play, in November during the FIFA window.
Coach, maybe you want to say something, maybe a last word to us before we can call up the interview.
Well, Yusuf, like I said, on behalf of the staff that I work with, we want to say thanks to the Liberian people that give us all the support. And we know the national team have not been doing well for some time now. So many Liberians feel, down and disappointed. But very soon we just want to encourage them, to make sure that they come to the stadium because, the supporters, give extra, especially when you are playing at home. The supporter can push the team to make sure. But because of disappointment, our stadiums have been empty. So, we just want to say to the Liberian people, let them come out and be positive to make sure that they support the national team. Look, Yusuf, before I end up, the game in Malawi, if you saw the game on TV, even when Malawi were down 2-0, the people in the stand, the supporters, they couldn't even sit. They were there, singing and chanting. And even when they scored the first goal, it was like on fire. They kept pushing, and the players too, fell into that, and they even equalized because they kept fighting. So we just asking, Liberians to come to the game to make sure that they can support the Lonestar. This is one of the events that always, make Liberians proud. But with the support of the supporters in the stand, I think that can help to, put some intimidation on the opposing team. So thank you, and I will be open each and every time, we can have a conversation, in terms of our football and the way forward.
All right, Coach.
Thank
You
you
very much.